welcome back to another episode of the Youth Ministry Booster Podcast. It's the holiday edition with Chad Higgins.
You went very radio voice there for a moment.
I went up.
You did like this slide kind of thing. What's up, man?
Ho, 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 holiday edition with Zach and Chad in the garage live talking to you. All the deals and discounts this Christmas season.
You made me a nice little cup of coffee.
I did.
I feel very, very blessed, honored.
That's actually a holiday blend, my friend. That's the holiday blend from our friends making coffee in North Carolina.
How do you feel about
the spirit of Christmas in a mug? Wonderful.
Well, I feel like there's a lot of people claiming holiday blend when it comes to coffee.
Oh, sure, fair, yeah.
It doesn't. I mean,
simple answer is: does it have peppermint? Does it eggnog?
But like just straight up coffee roasting beans,
yeah.
It doesn't taste more Christmassy.
Well, I mean, I guess you could find one that's got little notes of spruce in it, a little partridge in a pear tree, if you will. I don't know. I get nervous anytime someone's overly additive about the flavors in their coffee. Like, I don't want vanilla injected, lavender infused coffee roast. I just want the natural goodness just to be roasted on in there. You know what I mean?
Can we make just gross generalizations for a moment?
Of course, it's a holiday episode. We're not here for the subtlety.
The average youth minister across the country.
Yes.
How do they take their coffee?
Oh.
And I'd love for our listeners.
Yeah.
Please shoot us messages.
Drop a comment in.
Drop a
fan
comment.
mail. How do you drink your coffee?
How do you drink your coffee? It's important.
I feel like it's a probably pretty divisive issue. I feel like,
but I'm talking average.
See,
we got a bell curve.
But I don't think there is. I think it's one of those. Okay, I think the upper echelon cares a whole lot. I think there's a real strong contingent that's like averse to coffee. We got a real strong Celsius Dr. Pepper crowd that could care less. I think a lot of people just drink the cup in front of them.
I think
which is a Keurig. The Keurig in the youth room is probably the answer. Whatever the church office has, whether it's a Mr. Coffee or a Keurig, is probably the answer. I'm gonna go Keurig, shooting Keurig. K-cup, go.
See, I'm going some sort of latte.
Oh. Okay, we're going that way.
Okay. I think more often than not, guy pulls into a coffee shop.
Oh, so not making it themselves, buying it, spending dollars on the.
I mean, of course, we all drink a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
but I'm saying the
daily driver.
Their daily, yes.
Okay, latte in the Starbucks line.
Well, maybe not. Daily driver, then, they're probably making it at home, but I think they're adding something into it.
Okay.
I think there's some sort of...
You think these are syrupy friends?
I know. I think they're getting their taste from the creamer.
Okay. From the cream. Okay, now I will say, maybe let's ask this question. What do you think the bell curve of the coloration of the coffee is? From black to tan? Is it creamer, or is it
black's a 10?
that. Well, okay, we'll go black to oat, because the oat milk looks like just tinted coffee. Yeah, so black coffee would be I add nothing. Tan is somewhere in the middle. Give me the shade of color. What is the shade of color the average youth pastor coffee is?
All right.
This is a Crayola question, by the way.
There's lots talked about in research between correlation and causation.
That's good. That's good. A statistical episode.
I'm gonna say right now, definitively, I believe the more lock-ins you have done in your life,
come on,
the darker that coffee becomes.
Yes. Okay.
Like if you've seen war, you know what I mean?
See, I would offer the same, but the more reformed you are, the darker your coffee. I think it's a theological choice that, like, the more fallen the world, and so maybe that backs up a little bit of your lock-in. The more you have seen the depravity, the darker the roast.
Wow.
Response.
to my boy Calvin. You know what I mean?
Cheers to Charles and Calvin. Yeah, no, I think there's something, a theological statement about
That's right.
about the roast or the darkness.
I
the
feel
inside
like
of my
you're
cup is pitch
bordering
black.
on some real divisiveness where I mean you're just
I think it
throwing
actually. I think it'll sort out.
shades at-
We'll see. I could say the same thing about your shoes. Yeah. That is my favorite thing. Is there are just some really healthy youth ministry tropes that are really, really fun. And I think if we lean into them, now we got to spend enough time at conferences this season. That there's some that are just alive and well. There's something about the youth pastor that like. If you're in youth ministry, back me up. If this is not true, let me know. If it is true, give me a heck yeah in the comments. The more willing you are to wear like sandals year round, the larger your iPad is.
Oh well, yeah, but you've been working at camp for far too long.
There's something about like when I see Chacos in the wintertime, I just assume it's a big iPad. Like you have the 12-inch iPad. That is just, there's something about that. I don't know. I can't prove it, but that's my correlation. Is there a causation to that, you think?
I don't know. I'm just sitting here looking at it going, man, I can't be throwing too much shade. I wore my Mr. Rogers cardigan today.
You
know what I
did. You
mean?
did. I said, let's have a cozy episode, and you were like, bet.
Well, here's the deal. If I were going to be honest, if you're a new listener, we tape in Zach's garage.
We do.
And while you have
The heater
spruced
running.
it up a
Yeah.
little bit, it still gets cold in here in the winter.
It's cool.
So
It's cool. We're not doing tank tops in December. Can't do that. Okay, but holiday season though, man, how many Christmas Eve services are you going to?
one
Yeah,
now.
Just one?
I mean,
Just one?
as a minister, though, oh, dude, there was a season of my life we would do.
4?
Oh, we did 7.
Oof. So Christmas Eve night, Christmas Eve afternoon. How do you slot 7 in?
Well,
Is that Christmas Day?
Yeah. So it all depended on where Christmas actually fell.
Okay.
And so, but we would start them because just space wise. And there was one year where we had to do like tickets.
Oh.
It was weird, man. It was so weird.
Fa la 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 la. You're out.
All right, we got to move them. We got to clear out this parking lot.
No ticket.
No. No. So yeah, there would be we'd start, and that was where I learned the phrase Christmas Adam.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, for our folks that don't know, Christmas Day, beautiful. Christmas Eve, always. Christmas Adam, the day that precedes Eve. So Christmas, December 23rd.
Yeah.
If you have so many Christmas Eve services packed into the busy church schedule in front of you that you're looking down the barrel of, could we add one more on the 23rd? Welcome to those that celebrate Christmas Adam. So if you didn't know, now you know.
Well, and so Christmas Adam was always that's my preference at this point.
Really?
Well,
as a church goer or as a minister?
as a
Both?
church goer.
As a goer, okay.
Primarily because a lot of my family,
Yeah.
general, like we do stuff on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And so being able to go to church and
To still have the worship service, but then have the day with the family.
you have day with
That's
family
good.
and that kind of thing. And so because your family starts to get in and like you bring your family to church
or for our
it's really
family,
nice.
Christmas Eve is like for my 4, that's our day. Because Christmas Day is chopped up visiting another family, which we love, but like the most downtime for Karen and the boys and I is always Christmas Eve. Like because everything's closed, we're down, low key, it's pajamas all day. Yeah.
So that was one of the things that I wanted to talk about in this episode. Because our Youth Ministry Builds podcast, we always want to talk about like what are the feelings, what are youth ministers walking through?
The life of ministry.
Yeah. And I think obviously we have roles and responsibilities during Christmas at our church, but there's an element to our own family, right? That is part of this. So what are some tips that you would encourage for ministers as they're trying, maybe some of these people listening are newly married, just now have young kids. And so it's like you're trying to like, hey, I have to be here because
I got duties.
Stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. But then your wife may now have like their own traditions, right?
Sure.
That have been like the family expectation of you being there on Christmas Eve
is different. Yeah.
All of those kind of things. So how would you encourage a minister to like navigate these things? And
it's definitely like, I think you have to try to understand the season of life that you're in, and try to, I mean, I know that you and I have talked through this, that we'll pick up in a minute and kind of put a pin in, of just being the family that goes or the family that hosts. I think there's some reality to, are you the family that's always on the road? That's like, as soon as you get the minute to load up the car and go. Man, some of the best things that we've done is find ways that are inexpensive but focused, fun. So now as church goers, it happens Christmas Eve, but could easily happen a couple days before. Make your own Christmas Adam celebration if you don't have Christmas Adam services. We always buy a new board game and order a pizza Christmas Eve. And that's what we do. We have playtime. It's a way for the boys to open a new gift. It's a new thing to do together, screen-free fun, because we have young boys, and that's like the fun thing. When we had littlies, I think a lot of it was just trying to find those little magical moments of, if it's Christmas morning, of them opening and being excited about presents. For Karen and I, when we were married, without kids, it was doing the Christmas light thing. I know that this is not, apparently this is not everybody's thing. This was a big thing for us in Oklahoma or whatever, but it's like getting in the car, driving to places that have cool Christmas lights, but like creating a holiday amidst the holiday season. I think that's one of those, especially for my youth ministry friends that like know how to have fun and throw a party and plan and make a game of things. Like you're going to have to like, I know you're exhausted. I know it's the end of the year, and we just kind of want to either veg or slow down. But I think to find a way to make a memory or a holiday amidst the holiday season is really, really important.
Yeah.
And it may be like gas station pizza, or it may be, sleep in Saturday, brunch, breakfast, Christmas lights or something. But there's ways to just, I think, for the sake of either you and your spouse or you and your young family, before the demands of everybody else, like carving early and committing, and this is one of the ones we'll talk about at the end of the episode, having some guaranteed phone-free days. We started it several years ago. We really encourage folks, whether it's Boxing Day after Christmas or the 27th, depending on how it falls, to have at least a couple days where your phone is just off, because If this season can't be a moment for you to remember how much your family means to you, then you've missed the gift of what all of it was anyway. So, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think you have to plan to be present, right? Like,
yeah, it's not going to be accidental.
Yeah, it's not going to be accidental, but even beyond just physical presence, because I think if you're in an unhealthy state,
yeah.
I think you confuse physical presence with actually being present.
I was home, but I wasn't present. It's really easy during the holiday break to be home and not be present.
Right. And I think it's really important that I think we think through, like, where is our mental state going to be? And not trying to assume your spouse just understands.
Yeah.
Yes, you may have added, responsibilities. This definitely, like this time of year, I think
there's definitely there's different. You may even have like less youth, more church-wide stuff. Like I think that's probably some of the hardest parts. Is it's like there are things that you didn't plan that you are having to help or be responsible for.
Yeah, and I think that there are so many of things that like fall on that, like, job description, like as needed kind of things that fall in here. Like for many of our youth minister friends, like you're now running in the sound booth. You know what I mean? Like for the
I'm AV3. What does AV3 mean? Yeah.
And those type of things. But you're still there, and you're there early, and all of those kind of things. And you may have responsibilities of cleaning stuff up and all that kind of deal.
Hey man, if you're going to do 4 services on Christmas Eve, that's a tight turnaround.
Yeah, and I actually think that in having healthy conversations with your spouse of like, hey, here's what my schedule is going to look like over the next 2 weeks. Where are we at? What are we doing?
Yeah.
And making sure that expectation is really clear.
Yeah.
But
clear and then commit to it.
Yes.
Commit to the plan. Yeah.
And my encouragement to you, and I think it's why the phone thing is so important, is when you're there to be there.
Yeah.
and not thinking about, okay, well, what's this next service start? Or if you know that that is where you're going to be, that we're talking through that, those type of things. And that's just not this like expectation. Because I think sometimes when we feel insecure about our presence at home because of the pressures that we have with our job, the knee-jerk reaction is, well, should my spouse understand?
Yeah.
Like, don't they get it?
Yeah.
And I think that often causes like tension and bitterness that I see in some.
Well, because I mean, it's a big holiday for the family too, and I think we all know it. Like this is the tension. It's the things that we know and the things we feel pressured by, and often in those moments, clearer communication and committedness to what we communicated. It's the deviations that actually will do us in. It's you said you'd be done with this by 9. It's 10.
Yeah.
You said that you didn't have to go until after lunch. I was going to make us lunch.
Yep.
You said that the 26th and 27th your phone would be off and you're shopping or you're online or you're watching, and it's just one of those like the lack of communication generally, but both specifically to the expectations, and it can feel mechanical for a young couple because you've gone maybe from some moments of just like, man, we're together, everything's great, everything's romantical. But there is the more there is to manage, the more communication that is required, and the more communication that is consistently held, clearer and made told. Like, man, so not to break off into the marriage thing, but Karen and I weekly have family meeting where it is a conversation around calendar, budget. I mean, it's like where we're at this week. And during the holiday season, it often happens twice a week. Like last night, we put the boys to bed and we reviewed the next 10 days of winding down the school year and getting ready for the holiday plans and who was going to be more responsible for the boys here as we pack and get ready for our holiday trips. Like there was like down to the point of like, okay, well, this night's going to be the night that we wrap gifts, and this is the night that we're going to go shop for this trip. And it was like we're carving up the time on the 11th for the 19th. Like, I mean, these aren't just like pockets, but these are like big blocks of time that we're making allowances for, that we have to be held to. And so now like it's on the calendar. It's there. Like this is this and not that. And I think, yes, your job calls you to do stuff, but don't miss it for the sake of family because we didn't communicate clear enough on both. And if you don't know the work requirement stuff, the opposite is true. Make sure to ask for the clear communication. Like if it's unsure of what time are we supposed to be there for Christmas Eve stuff, like don't guess, find out. Especially if you're new in the role and you don't know for sure, or especially like if something is different this year, or it felt like last year we were just standing around or we didn't know quite what to do. Like it's okay to ask for that clear stuff early because when it gets here, it's going to feel like pressured. And so again, I think just being really, really thoughtful in like communication times and then being really, really present at whatever you're doing. The older I get, the longer I live. I think the biggest challenge in a busy age is being committed to the moment that we're in. Because anytime that we're not, we start having regret on both sides about not being there enough and not being here enough to whatever we're feeling torn by.
What for you when we talk about being present?
Yeah.
And I know this is going to look a little bit different for everybody, so that's why I asked, like, for you. What are either things that you have to do or indicators for you to know, like, oh, I am present? Because I hear that being talked about a lot of being present. Yeah. Like, what does that actually look like?
It means the phone is in do not disturb.
Okay.
I think.
So that's why that's one of the key things that distracts you.
Man, it is. Sometimes it'll be the switch from wearing my like a notification wearable, like an Apple or Garmin watch, to like just like a timepiece or no watch at all, because that's usually where it starts. I'll start getting the like alerts on my wrist. Then I grab from my phone, and my phone comes out. And then, like so many of us, I checked this message that queued this email that made this thing that I wanted to check on. And now 8 minutes has passed and I can't give an accounting for it. And so I think managing where my devices are, I think managing where my replies are, and again, that's related in some ways of when the email comes in, are you responding morning and afternoon? Are you batching those things, or is it just as they come in, or is it get so far delayed that every time you open it, you get really overwhelmed? But I think the other part of it is where you stand and sit. Um,
speak more to that.
The biggest change at home that we've made, there's no chairs upstairs. It's just couches. So you're always sitting next to somebody. Like literally when we were upstairs, like playing games or watching TV, we used to have like a few chairs and everybody kind of had a chair. Well, now we have like 2 small couches. So if Isaiah is playing video games, I have to sit on the couch with him. Or if we're watching TV, we're all bundled up together. And I think that matters in church stuff too. Because, can I speak a little bit sharply? Because it's not our event. Sometimes we'll find places like the sound booth, not just to help, but to hide. And so we're kind of halfway there. We'll be in less, hopefully being helpful, but not always invisible spaces to be amongst the people. I get it. It may not be your wiring or gifting, but to be visible and present at an event that wasn't totally on your shoulders. Like, I always love Christmas Eve services on staff as a minister because I got to see so many families, and my role was often very important but minimal. It was gathering up the supplies for communion. That's a big deal, but it put me in a spot to interact with a lot of families, and I could have easily done my task and hid somewhere else, but to put yourself in the middle of whatever it is in front of people is really, really important. For so many youth ministry folks that aspire to preach, teach, and pastor more, that starts with being visible and present to those that you're hoping to reach and care for, the parents of students, the families of kiddos who will be in the youth ministry later. There is such an opportunity at the Easter egg hunt, cantata, summer festival, and Christmas Eve services, Christmas holiday season, to see a lot of families that are not always there. There's a lot, right or wrong, there's a lot of folks that show up at Christmas time that don't show up at other times. And so to not just like dismiss and be like, we won't see them for a few months, but to be like, man, it is good to connect and follow up, and seeing these as relational openings and opportunities and not just begrudging obligations.
For me, it is so we've used this phrase as we've like worked on stuff over the years.
Yeah.
That there's a difference between working on the ministry and in the ministry, and that logistically, or just like you're talking about, like running the program is often working on it.
Yep.
Right. Like there are tasks to get
week
done.
to week,
and some of those could probably be done days in front.
Yeah.
To allow ourselves to have presence in the moment.
Yeah.
Because I think,
set up on Tuesday instead of Wednesday or whatever.
like what you're talking about, even if your role is to be in the AV booth that Sunday morning, to be present.
And that's okay if it is.
Yeah. You may have that role, but there are probably 2 or 3 other people that you get to invest in for a couple of days.
Yeah.
It's like,
dude, Rick, Doug, Dave that are always in the AV booth, and you're running the live stream audio and you're trying to figure it out. Dude, those are 3 deacon guys that are probably always there that you didn't get to see otherwise. Like, overly invest, turn on the pastoral interest, like that's.
Yeah, I think those are opportunities to be present in the moment and to realize like your role inside of the church. It's more than just, that's the guy who wrangles the kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, be a pastor.
Yeah, be a pastor this season, be a shepherd this season. The holidays are such a unique time of both gifts and goodness and grief. And I would say this is the season to stretch your pastoral muscles, to walk slow enough with discerning ears and discerning eyes to see who maybe you can be for this season. Because there's somebody that's lost somebody recently. There's somebody who this is their first holiday without somebody. There is somebody who this holiday is new and different. And you may know through the lens of a student about a family or a parent relationship or a grandparent. Like, you have insight enough that to cultivate and be there and present and caring and thoughtful maybe the greatest gift that you could give this season, um, because you were obligated to be at every service.
Yep.
And being there at every service means that you get to see a lot more things than you typically see, which means lots more opportunity. And I hope in that way that you feel seen too, that by seeing others, sometimes that refracts to give us an insight into what God's doing in our own life too, because there is something about this season, both deeply theological, reformed or otherwise, about the gift of a kid, of a baby at Christmas time, to remind us of the tenderness and the fragility of what we're living in, and so to not speed bump through all that's happening this season, to acknowledge what it is and celebrate the holiday rightly.